Is it some devil that crawls inside of you?
You make the Lord very nervous. Welcome to the Bad Etiquette Podcast. Oh my God, Happy New Year, even though it's too late to say it according to Larry David. Merry Christmas. Hope you had a lovely 2021. A lot of people said it was worse than 2020. I know for a couple reasons for some people it was. Kyleigh sitting over there, her dad died last year. I think her 2020 was much better than losing her dad last year. So happy 2022 to you. She's sitting over there, ice pack on her head. Fucked her mouth too hard. Oh man, I haven't done a solo episode in God knows how the fuck long. I seriously have been like anticipating this. I don't know if anyone else. I mean, they're like my worst performing episodes, so I don't really know if anyone else is excited about them as I am. But there's also some people who are like, no, those are my favorite, because I'll have a conversation with someone and they're like, they just hate listening to other people. I get it. Some people are weird. Some people are boring. Some people like have funny voices. And I'm sure mine's like nails on a chalkboard to some people and they can't listen to it. There's podcasts I can't listen to. Fucking drives me nuts. Man, the solo episode is, I want to do one of these, even if it's like 30 minutes or like 10, 20 minutes once a week. Like paired with the guest episodes, as you guys know, as I'm sure. Is this even? Yeah. Gotta make sure it's recording, you know? It's no. Okay, we're good. It's recording. I don't think I can go on without being creative. It is so integral to who I am and who I feel as like a person as a whole. And those like little 30-minute chunks are like little, like the whole, I was listening to Bill Burr's Thursday afternoon, just before Friday, Monday morning podcast. And it's like a half hour and he does it every week. And it was such as longtime listeners know, you know, it is such a huge inspiration for the show was Bill Burr's Monday morning podcast. And that's how it started for me. It was just, you know, bitching about shit into a microphone, and he's still doing it. And it's still really funny. And it's so nice. And he's just sitting there, and like his wife, Nia, is just in the background. And just like she'll come in and interject sometimes, and like they have a great rapport because they're fucking married, have 2 kids, you know, you gotta get along with that person, or the kids are gonna grow up and, you know, shoot up a school or shoot up heroin, or you know, hopefully maybe he'll use that energy to shoot up some basketballs, not because his wife's black or his kids are half black or anything, but just, you know, going with the shot thing. It's shut up. God, yeah. A lot happened last year. I'm just going to do a quick little recap. Moved back to the Central Coast from Oceanside. I had a dumb roommate situation. Well, I had a dumb roommate and a dumb roommate situation too. Fun fact. So glad to be out of that. I could go into further details, but I just don't have the energy to be that negative about that one thing right now, because I have a whole list of shit to be negative about. So excuse the frequent breaths and rebreathing and sounding like I'm learning to breathe for the first time. I haven't done this in a long time. Like the solo episode, like the rant, like the continuous. How many fucking words can you fit in a few minutes? It's been 3 minutes and 46 seconds. I know some people can type really fast, but you can type fast? Kyleigh said she can type fast. And I've gotten in arguments with her on a phone, like texting. She can type fast. You know, it's like serious when you get like a wall of text. You're like, oh, God, you know you fucked up. Whether you were like guilty or it's your fault or like it's actually them, if they have time, as the kids say, come prepared. You can get that fucking wall of text that like one you have to scroll through the screen just to get to the top and bottom of the message. You fucked up somehow. You fucked up by being in that situation and being in that relationship. You know, not ours, babe. I love ours. Ours is great. yeah, so moved back to the Central Coast, got out of the shitty roommate situation, but unfortunately, I miss Oceanside so much. I miss being near a couple friends I have down there. I was, making good friends at Starbucks, which, I'm happy to not be working at anymore. Let me tell you, fucking working at Starbucks, Star sucks. I hate that shit. I highly recommend don't work there. If you do work there currently, don't. JP, you were on this episode, on this podcast. You might be listening. Thank you. Appreciate it. Don't work there. He's fine. Honestly, I think about working there sometimes just because how cool he was. I was like, I could go in with a whole new attitude, whole new strategy, and just like the kind of personality he brought and the kind of like demeanor, all that. If I could bring that and like I just take little greatest hits chunks from people that I like. And he has all these great little one-liners, little things he used to say to people and say to guests and say to customers or whatever. And I try to incorporate them all the time. And it works out so great. And people love when you like, he's got it dialed in. He has like a tight 15, you know what I mean? Like they all will kill at all times. I'm sweating over here. My face is so red right now, I think. Like it feels like 1,000 degrees. I haven't done this in so long. But this is my podcast, so I will be talking about other people and talk shit about them, not just me. Yeah. Happy New Year. Happy fucking 2022. Hey, babe, one of the best things about this year, your dad can't die this year, so doing pretty good. As you can tell, I am on drugs now. I began atomoxetine, which is the generic name for Strattera. It's the non-fun ADHD medication, being the fact that it's a non-stimulant. So I don't get to do pharmaceutical meth. So I'm still fat, and I don't get any writing done, and my dick sometimes works. So it's pretty good. She laughs, but she's really crying on the inside. Working out the kinks. Not in my sex life, but in the side effects. Some of them kind of suck, First couple days, couldn't sleep very well. Was a little hot, constipated. It said frequent urination, but it also said dry mouth. So I think the frequent urination is actually a symptom of the dry mouth. Because when your mouth is really dry, you're drinking a lot of liquids, a lot of water, a lot of fucking everything you're putting in there. And then you're pissing all the time because you're fucking flooding your goddamn system with liquids. So you're like... So I think that if you I actually read something on Reddit. I hate that. I read it. I read it on Reddit, whatever. There's so much good information on Reddit. Famous last words of a school shooter right there, but bear with me. I don't go to school, so we're fine. I guess I'll go to a school, huh? Yeah, it's back in class, right? Yeah, the class is back in session, right? Okay. Apparently, when you have really dry mouth, for other people who are going through ADHD, maybe Strattera, maybe whatever, like they get dry mouth from medication. Sugar-free gum, which Kylie's fucking addicted to anyways and is always within arm's reach or arm's length. They're always around, and I always have access to a piece or two, or she steals my 35 pack and then just douses the whole thing in a fucking week. God. She's a sugar-free gumaholic. I'm sure there's like some adverse effects to eating sugar-free gum, but at least she didn't swallow it. I used to swallow it. She doesn't swallow. I was reading one of the side effects of Strattera is ejaculation disorder. And I noticed when I was ejaculating exactly what that meant. At first, I didn't know what it meant. I was like, what, is it going to go farther or going to be, different colors, or is it going to come out like a little slower than usual? I didn't know what it meant. And then I was, you weren't there, but I was jacking off as you do as a young man, because I was like, hey, my dick's working for once. This is nice. It was kind of up and down. Well, it wasn't up, but it was down. So I was like, I'm going to take advantage of this and see if this is going to stick around, you know? And it just, I know this is like really TMI for some people, especially if you're like a relative of mine or my boss or someone that has to be around these parts of me in jiu-jitsu. Sorry. Fucking put up with it. Read the name of that podcast. I'm continuing. It just started like, going. And I was like, excuse me, I'm not done. I didn't feel that. And it just was, I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Which happens like sometimes, like a little bit. Shut up. Yeah, it happened again. Anyways, and it was just going, and I was like, God damn it. But then I noticed I kept going with it coming out still, because I was like, I still have a whole like round in me, there's still a whole nother round in the chamber or whatever. There's still fucking bullets in this magazine. And then I had like the like body and like the brain, like bzz, the big O, the orgasm, the the real one, the male one, not the mythical one, like the female one. And that got me a little scared, because that means I could just be banging any whore, banging away at any old ugly old maid. Not you, I'm not looking at you, but just, just anyone, just saying. Not trying to objectify you, young lady. And it could just be filling her up, giving her a free breed, a free cream pie. And then I don't even feel it. That's terrifying. So that's what ejaculation disorder is, I think. But apparently that does go away. So I'm looking forward to when that goes away. Another part of it is you get like a burning sensation in your urethra after you jizz. I don't know why I'm so I think I'm like not used to talking about like sexual things on the podcast, so I'm like a little apprehensive. But in my normal life, I just talk about sex all fucking goddamn day long. It's my favorite fucking subject. I know a lot about it. I've had a little bit of it in my life with 1 or 200 people. So, it's there. Yeah, I'm just going to talk about it. It's 2022. Come on. What are we going to fucking live forever? I'm going to talk about my dick some more. And I'll tell you right now, that burning sensation is real, but it was a relief. It's very validating when you read it on Reddit. Ooh, that's killing me. And someone says, oh, that's normal. But I'm hanging on to the last part. It was like this big informational chunk about the sugar-free gum, the burning dick, the premature ejaculation, the erectile dysfunction, the constipation, the, whatever, what have you. It was like a big chunk from one guy, and I was like, this is me from the future. And I like time traveled and put this for me to see, because it was exactly like a big list of all the things I was kind of going through. And it goes away. So fingers crossed. We're only a week and a half into January 2022. So remember when it was like a week and a half in 2020 when it was like, oh no, Trump started World War III because they fucking literally had a drone kill like 1 or 2 people. Like they made a drone like just ice some fucker. Not at the border, not that ice, but in Iran, that border, some fucking like general military guy just went fucking, and everyone's like, oh no, Trump, we're only a week into 2020 and World War III happened. At this point, I would have welcomed a World War III. That sounds so much nicer than what actually ended up happening in 2020. It feels like 2020 was last year. Like 2021 was like, I don't know which year felt less existent to me. 2020? You think 2020? Oh, 2021? Yeah, what a whirlwind. What a dick twist that was. I started a new job last year. I mean, I start lots of new jobs lots of times. Remember when I worked at Crunch Fitness for about an hour? That was a good episode. Crunch in, crunch out. Go back into the archives, folks. Listen to it. Episode's free. Download it now. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you can get podcasts. There's the audio of it on YouTube. No video. Sorry, that's coming. 2022. We're moving on up in the world. Gonna get the video. You guys are gonna see like what a nut job I am and how lazy my eye gets when I talk. And you see like, oh, that makes sense. He is husky. He is out of breath often. I get it. Makes a lot more sense now. So we'll get there. I need some water. I'm just fucking thirsty work talking to you people. It's actually just a dry mouth from the Stratera. Cool stuff though. I feel like it's doing something because I was kind of like, let me go back a little bit. So last year I tried to get in with a doctor to finally like say, hey, I'm 26 years old. I have nothing to show for it. I did horrible in school, but all the teachers said how smart I was. I did excellent on state testing, and blah, 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 blah. Everyone's heard that old story. And then, like, I didn't have anything to show for it. I didn't have any, what the fuck? Medals? I didn't win any medals. I didn't win any trophies. I didn't ever compete or participate or do anything, like, noteworthy. There was no proof that I was, like, ever actually competent at anything, including this podcast. And I was like, I think it's time that we acknowledge this, because there was a bunch of fucking idiots that I grew up with that went to school every day, got decent grades, did good on tests, graduated, went to college, have a normal job. And I'm like, those fucktards, those fucking idiots that couldn't get a joke if it fucking hit him in the face and I spoon-fed him the punchline, those idiots, those fucking townies, those boring, basic-ass Honda-driving, Nissan-loving pieces of shit, those fucking people, those swag kids, like, there has to be something. So I was like, listen, doc, after saying all this, she's like, shut the fuck up, you have ADHD, but I can't talk to you. It took me like I tried to get an appointment in August. Come September, they don't take my insurance because it's from Oceanside, even though it's the same fucking insurance. Oh, but it's a different county. I fucking hate that shit. So much dumb red tape bullshit. So stupid. Just fucking, there's someone somewhere that made that a rule that is living happily, and I don't think they should be. So then I had to wait till October to finally see a doctor. And then the doctor says I can't do anything about it because I don't have the test to tell you whether you have ADHD or not. And she made it sound like it like comes in a box. Like, we don't have it here. Like, I'm like, is it a multiple choice? Like, I'm gonna get it, you know, an average on it, right? And doesn't tell me anything about it. Doesn't fucking give me any, you know. And then she has me get my blood taken, and I'm like, you fucking bitch. I have to go across the hallway out of this. She's my doctor. She's nice. She's not a bitch. She might be a bitch. I have no idea. Makes me go across the hallway, get my blood taken. I had to fast for this. I don't know if you guys know what the word breakfast means, but it literally means break fast. You're breaking your fast from your 8 hours of sleep. That's bullshit. No one gets 8 hours of sleep, and if you do, fuck you. And it means you get some blood sugar, something in your system. I wasn't allowed to do that for these tests. So for some reason, when I don't have anything in my system, which is honestly happening lately, because one of the side effects of Stratera is a loss of appetite, I just faint around blood. I see blood. I think of blood. I think about the fucking veins. I'm going to faint talking about it right now. I think about anatomy. I think about, like, you know, things getting cut, arteries, veins, fucking anything anatomical like that. It just like gets me like a little woozy, and I'm like, oh shit, maybe I am bitch made. And then I fucking turn plasterboard white, and I just lose consciousness, and I'm gone. I'm dead. Bah. And then the worst part is, it's like, you know it happens, you know it's happening, and you just have to sit there. I imagine this is what rape is like, but you know, like not as fun, or like there's not like fantasies about it. People don't get like, they don't like make it happen in movies. This moment isn't recreated in movies. People don't get movements for having syncope. So I faint, and I'm literally, I go into the place beforehand and I tell the nurse, like, hey, I faint around blood, I'm a little bitch, sorry, I know I'm wearing man clothes, but they were free, you know, anyone can wear them now, it's 2021, you know. And she has me lay down and I still faint. Like, you know how much of a pussy you gotta be to fall asleep laying down in the morning after there's a needle in your arm? Like, everything, like, I don't know. That's a strange combination of things. It's, if I told you to lay down in your bed and I said, you're going to be really hungry, grouchy, you're going to be fully dressed, but I'm going to stick a fucking needle in your arm, you wouldn't go, okay, I'm going to go to sleep now, right? And you're like, okay, fuck, that's terrifying. I'm, you know, my stomach's growling, my fucking mind's going, I haven't had any coffee, and you're sticking needles in my arm, you're taking my plasma. Like, that's a rough deal. You ask anyone else, you're like, you can't just have that. Like, you're just dressed right, and I'm in a building that has the right letters on the outside, so you just get my blood. You're just getting stuff that is really, could put me in prison if you put it in the wrong spot, you know? I run by a drive-by, I spill a bunch of my blood, and then I sprinkle some, like, shell casings, and I, you know, and I go, bye. And they go, someone's blood was found at the scene. And they go, hey, your blood was found at the scene. There's these shell casings. What's going on here? That's just circumstantial. That just gets me in the court. And that's a whole nother building that has a whole nother person with the right outfit, the right letters on the outside. And they put me in there. I guarantee I'm going to be fucking terrified. And I'm be like, no, it's actually not my blood. I was actually at the nurse's office where they take the blood. There was the phlebotomist, and then I'm going to be talking about that, and then I'm going to faint at the in court, and then they're going to go, I think he's being serious, and then someone's going, no, he's playing possum, he's faking, and then someone's going to be like, either this man's a huge pussy because he fainted talking about fainting, pussy, or he's pretending to do that and playing dead like a fucking pussy. So all I'm trying to do is just say, Doc, do I have ADHD or not? I can't do it for a whole nother month because she says, I'm going to have someone give you a phone call at work, and he'll tell you whether or not you have it or not. I go, that's great. Thank you. Thank you very much. Unbelievable. Fucking unbelievable. And then eventually, you know, he calls me at work an hour and a half after he says he's going to call, just like Dad. And I tell him everything, but I have to like do it out of earshot of my boss, who clearly knows I have ADHD. And he's like, oh, was that news? Were you keeping that from us at work here? And then the doctor's like, well, okay, let me put you on an antidepressant. And I go, I'm not depressed. What the fuck are you talking about? Stupid. Every doctor I've talked to is told me one of two things. Either wake up, you fainted, or are you depressed? Let me give you antidepressants. They must pay them so much money to prescribe antidepressants. I don't remember the name of the fucking antidepressant. Wellbutrin? That's the worst part, is they literally have the word well in it. It's like, well, is it good for you, or is it like, well, like you're gonna be well? Butrin, because Wellbutrin is probably not a good selling point. I feel like I'm on fire over here, like not in like a good way, like, hey, I'm killing it with the one woman audience, but like I feel like I'm just like steaming, but I'm dry to the touch. Must be like a cold sweat. I got that flop sweat going on. I feel like I'm bombing. But I'm the bomb. I'm the explosive part. I'm like, maybe it's the Stratera. Is being insufferable part one of the side effects? I was just shot point blank in the fucking face. So, 2022 seems to be going well. Got that going for me. Haven't fainted this year. It's been a little over a month since I fainted. That's nice. It actually, my heart rate it used to be in like the high 40s to brag to everyone. I'm an athlete. And now my heart is just like all the time now. And I'm like, I guess this is me. I guess this is how Kyleigh feels all the time. Do you have your pulse oximeter with you? Okay, I gotta go get that thing. I want to go see what my fucking heart rate is. I mean, obviously, it's gonna be like way more than it usually is right now, but it's just going all the time. It's supposed to make your blood pressure like a little higher, too. Which is fine because that means I won't faint. I think that's part of the reason I haven't fainted, because I've been around blood. I cut my hand open today at work, and it was just bleeding, and I just fucking kept hammering away. And I was like, okay. I think part of me was like, you can't faint now, then they'll really think you're a pussy. Yeah, can't faint at work around other men. Bad move. Not a good thing to do. I'm just recording this from my master bedroom. I call it a master bedroom because this is before they freed the bedroom slaves. I mean, before, and that's not what I meant. I meant before, what am I trying to say? Before they stopped calling them master bedrooms, because that was reminiscent of Lady Antebellum, or plantations, or slave owners. Master bedroom, like that's where the master was. You know what I mean? Which is weird, because I know there was master bedrooms in areas where there were not slaves, right? Like no one, like it wasn't like the Mason-Dixon line was there, and then someone's like, hey, Greg, I noticed we're in Virginia, and you have a master bedroom. What's that about? Someone had to be like, what the fuck is going on here? Right? I think it's just a master bedroom. I think it's just like, this is my house. I am the master of this shit. I get the biggest bedroom. Master bedroom, bitch. Right? It's not like they call the shed in the back the slave quarters or the hoosegow or whatever it is, right? Is there any other like weird parts of a house that you're like, why is it still named that? Or why is it named that? Bathroom, that makes sense. There's a fucking bath in there. Master bedroom, makes sense. The master is in there and his fucking bed is in there. Kitchen, I have no idea what a kitchen is. Why is it called a kitchen? I don't fucking know. Why is it called a kitchen? I want to look that up right now. That's kind of puzzling. Not that this is really like what 2022 needs to be about. Kitchen meaning. Kitchen, a room or area where food is prepared. You son of a bitch. Ooh, informal. The percussion section of an Oh, that makes sense. Like this is the kitchen. This is Hell's Kitchen. This is where the beats are made. People also ask what kitchen means. I love that when like you can see how stupid other people are, and you're like, thank God they asked it. They have a whole stupid section of questions here. To capture or seize, especially after pursuit. That doesn't make sense at all. Oh, that's catch. Catch definition and meaning. I don't think Google knows what the fuck it's talking about. What kind of word is kitchen? Noun. Why is it called the kitchen? Came the later Latin noun coquina, meaning a kitchen. With some changes in pronunciation, coquina came into Old English as sissine. This became Middle English kitchen, and finally Modern English kitchen. So why is it called a sissine? That doesn't make any sense. That didn't give me any answers. How fucking far how many links do I have to click to find out why it isn't called the food room or the boom boom food room or the Grub Hut? That's a brand. It's a company. The fucking, why is it called a fridge? Well, refrigerator, that makes sense. Closet, you close it, get it? Makes sense. You put your clothes in it, genius. God, that's why I keep you around, babe, making me look almost as stupid as I actually am. Ugh. Something I've noticed doing the solo episodes, I have to shit half the time I've done them. Every time. You know how many times I've been at home and I've been like, I think it's also because I'm in the master bedroom and the bathroom's always right there. So it's like, oh, I can go anytime I want. Also, if you get anywhere in life, having a bathroom so near, like it's connected to the bedroom, greatest fucking thing in the world. I never knew what I had when I was in 7th and 8th grade. I had a bathroom, but it was like a Brady Bunch door. So like I opened one door, my mom opened the other door, and we're both standing there like, oh, why are you naked? This is horrible, you know. I heard a really great joke today. You want to hear it? All right. 2 married guys were fucking in the shower. Guy fucking his husband in the ass hears the phone ring and he says, oh, this is a really important phone call. Please, hold on. And the guy's like, well, no, don't take your dick out of my ass. I'm enjoying this. And he's like, no, it's really important. I'll come right back. But don't finish. And he's like, okay, fine. So he pulls his dick out, runs naked down the hall, slips his fucking slippery ass, answers the phone, whatever it was. He finally gets it, comes back, opens the fucking bathroom door. He's ready to fuck. Come everywhere. Come on the fucking mirror. Come on the floor. Come on the soap dispenser. Come on the shower curtain. The guy says, what the hell? I told you not to finish. And he's like, I didn't. I farted. Yeah. I thought that was pretty funny. I also retold it very badly, so, you know, when you have someone that, like, really knocks it out of the park with jokes, like, really has, like, a good setup, punchline, joke style, like, demeanor about them, irreplaceable. It's terrific. Terrific. I said terrific. I haven't even got to my new obsession lately, which I was mad I didn't get to do. I came home and the sun was down. I was going to lose another arrow. My new obsession's archery right now. Specifically, I wanted to get into archery because of bow hunting. I want to be a hunter so bad, but I'm still pretty far away from that in my life. So here I am, shooting little Amazon arrows at a Big 5 bag, target bag, in a field across the street. And I could not be happier. It makes me so happy. It is so much fun. It literally, first of all, way more affordable than guns, and I can't shoot guns in the front yard. At least not in California. And at least not here. At least not in, I mean, I guess you could if you lived on a big, like, ranch property and you had, like, land to yourself and there wasn't any, there wouldn't be anyone bothering you if you were shooting your gun. But then also you got to take that up with your wife. She's like, what the fuck? Why are you shooting? I'm trying to cook here. Because obviously if you own land, that woman's going to be in the fucking kitchen. Because she's like, you gave me a literal kingdom. I'm the princess of this castle, blah, 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 whatever. That's a male fantasy. Women obviously run this show now. But if you could, I can't shoot a gun outside, and ammo's really expensive and it's kind of hard to come by. So it's like, I gotta stockpile all that shit. I can't be doing that. I mean, I wish I could. It's a lot of fun, and it's also kind of frowned upon in California and a lot of places. So the bow is like the next best thing. It's a projectile. I can kill an animal with it and a human. Don't test me. I'm getting good. And it's just perfect. It's just target acquisition, patience, meditation, practicing violence. Just like fucking jujitsu, where you're just like, I'm literally practicing potential murder all the time. I don't know. I think like it's the closest. It's like why I think it's why people like video games, and that's why the most popular video games to this day are the ones where you get to fuck people up. You get to blow their brains out, and you get to shoot things. You get to blow them up. You respawn. You get to collect all these things. You'd be like, I can't afford all these fucking guns and grenades and bombs and fucking bulletproof vests and whatever the fuck. I want a video game now. I just convinced myself I need a video game. That sounds great. Those are so much fun. I've never played a video game, but they are so much fun. That's not true. I've played a lot of video games, especially Spin It Bank Bonanza on the Wii Party with Kyleigh. God, that is... It gives you a little like display window on which game you're going to choose, and it gives you a potential like how long this game could last, and it literally says 30 minutes or an eternity in boyfriend years, and it is so hard to play. I thought it was the worst game I had ever played. I thought it was the most annoying waste of time of a game I had ever played. Until we went over to our friend's house and they bought a game even worse for the Wii, even older. What was it? It was called Wii Block Party, I think. Holy shit. There's a reason you don't hear about the Wii anymore. Is there like a Wii out right now? Is it the Wii U? Something like that? Okay. There's a reason the Wii went the way of the fucking GameCube. Some of those games were so goddamn bad. The fact that you can still buy them should be a criminal offense. Where are you going? Okay. Hurry. I have to shit. I always have to shit. I just got home from work, I've been holding it in all day. I was installing solar panels or pretending to or whatever the fuck. Pretending I'm an electrician, holding a flashlight in broad daylight. What are you doing, Dallas? I don't know. And there's no bathroom at these people's house that I could like readily use. They were like, oh, you have to wear masks inside. And I was like, does that mean I have to wear underwear inside too? I gotta pee. I'm gonna pull it down, whatever. I'm just teasing. I don't care. But they weren't home. They left. So we were stuck outside. Not that we were, trying to get inside their house, not a freak all the time. And I had to hold my piss all fucking day. All day. But that means I also had to hold this shit. I had a Wendy's Baconator for lunch because I'm disgusting. There's another thing. Fucking diet. January is World Carnivore Month. Let me tell you, I love that shit. I'm not really much of a dietitian. I don't stick to any one diet usually. I'm not very disciplined. But I do know what I eat one thing a certain amount of times, and then I eat another thing a certain amount of times, and one makes me feel better, and one makes me feel worse. I go with the one that makes me feel better. And it's usually non-processed foods or whole foods. Obviously, it's really hard to come by that in modern day America, especially with everything being so convenient, like having a short amount of time for lunch in a city you don't live in, so you got to drive real close nearby. And, sometimes you get Wendy's. It happens. I did. I'm about to have Wendy's in the toilet right now. Okay, be right back. Anyways, so, yeah, I just took a shit. That's how seamless technology has gotten. You would have never known. If I didn't tell you, I could have just went, pause. No shit. I'm just saying, to signify like a passage of time. Yeah. Where's your podcast? Yeah, yeah. What was it called again? Exactly. She has another ice pack because I wasn't actually shitting. I was actually fucking her head. Not like sexually. I just mean like it was just mind fuck at how amazing I am on the microphone of my own podcast. See? You hear that? You hear that moaning in the background. The fast food, not good. Not part of the decision. I didn't have to tell everyone. But you gotta hold yourself responsible when you make mistakes. You know what I mean? That looked like it was very hard for you to hear that. You said, yeah. I don't want to be eating fast food, but I have been so far. I'm not off to a good start this year. It is National Carnivore Month. Yeah, I think that's the proper name of it. Whatever. World Carnivore Day Month, whatever. I know some of you guys who like follow me on Instagram know I share things about that sometimes, and I like to eat a very protein-rich diet. I thought eating a lot of protein helps you build muscles, but I'm not seeing any proof of that yet. I know other people are, and I'm not knocking the keto carnivore lifestyle and diet, but I recently bruised my arm terribly bad, and I posted a photo of it. It was because it was the bow. It was the compound bow, the one that I'm obsessed with. I put the release in the little D loop, as they call it, and I was pulling it back. Mind you, no arrow was knocked. I was indoors. I wasn't drawing the bow. I was just like, so I pull it back and I press the thumb release, and I pressed the thumb release like a fucking idiot. The 50-pound string shot out of my fucking right hand into my left arm, bruised it for like 2 weeks straight. And the number one comment was, wow, you got small arms. Wow, you have small forearms. Yeah, one of the most biggest insecurities I have is the size of my wrists and forearms. And thank you, baby. That means a lot. She's 5 feet tall. Of course, they don't look small to her. Anyways, so I need to be doing something. I don't get how, like, people, like, I know biceps. I know how those get bigger. I know how titties get bigger. I know how this ass gets bigger. I know, bench press, squats. No matter how much weight I can lift or how often I lift weights, these fucking wrists have always been a little dainty, a little small. Forearms, little, not impressive. I couldn't possibly jack off more and not have better results, right? No, that's ridiculous. I feel like if I didn't jack off and if I wasn't ambidextrous, I wouldn't have. First of all, if I wasn't ambidextrous, one of these arms would be even smaller. It'd be really embarrassing. But if I didn't jack off, I'd have two tiny little itty bitty wrists. They'd be fucking. They wouldn't be there. They'd be kind of like how they are now. Barely there. I got little arms. Anyways. I got the kettlebells out of storage. They're in my truck. We just gotta get into them. You know what I mean? I'm bringing them up as soon as I can lift them with these little arms. But something to be said about the carnivore diet and about this fast food bullshit is I'm still glad I'm not vegan. It's 2022 and I'm still bashing vegans, guys. Sorry. Kyleigh just rolled her eyes because she was vegan for 2 months when we broke up. I know you don't care, but you also don't have to care about everything I say and or do. Clearly you didn't. Oh, I love you too. Shut up. If there is a new fast food item and you're excited about it, something went wrong long ago. But if you're vegan and your only excitement lately is like Kentucky Fried Chicken's Beyond Meat, something is wrong and it ain't getting fixed anytime soon either. What is worse than, what if that was your personality trait? If someone was online or you were following their Twitter and they were like, oh bro, new chalupas at Taco Bell, yes, you'd be like, ugh, this is a garbage person. This is a garbage person. They like garbage food. They are trash. Why am I following them? They are going to die soon of a disease they gave themselves. But if you just take away the like preconceived notion that fast food is bad, you just plug the buzzword of like vegan or like Beyond Meat or like Beyond, like, you know what I'm saying? Like that somehow makes it okay, but it's like you're just excited about eating even faker meat at a fast food restaurant just to eat meat, even more chemicals. What are you doing? It doesn't make it's so gross. It's so trashy. It's like big, you know how what's that new like meme lately, or the new trend is like all those red flags. It's like big red flag is getting excited over new fast food items. Oh yeah, and diet soda just has all that aspartame that made Michael J. Fox all, you know? Oh yeah, have you been drinking the Diet Dr. Pepper? Ooh, let me tell you, there's aspartame in those, baby. But they're still pretty good, and they're so good, right? What's worse, aspartame or just drinking a regular Dr. Pepper? Maybe just drink a regular Dr. Pepper next time. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's the price you pay. That's the price you pay. I get it. You want to be skinny. I want to be skinny. I want to be... Yeah, is it really that much worse than alcohol? I'm not, like I said earlier, I'm not a dietitian. I'm not a doctor. I have no idea. But I do know that people don't drink a lot of diet soda and then go kill people in a car. So that's better. That's a big plus. You know what I mean? So that's pretty cool. Yeah, is he even allowed to drive? I mean, that motherfucker was driving to the past and the future, and now I don't even think they let him in the front seat of vans. I think he has to be loaded in through a ramp. No, I don't know. I have no idea. But yeah, no, seriously, if you're getting excited over a fast food item and your only excitement is the fact that it's fucking vegan, you need a hobby, bitch. You know what I mean? That hurts my soul. I'm not worried about them. I'm concerned for them, you know, because some of these people are people I know. Some of these people, I'm like, you're going to drink too much diet soda and twitch into me while you're driving one of these days because, I don't know, who knows what's in those chemicals? That's going to give them something where they're going to drive bad or maybe cause an accident. I can only worry about myself. That's not true. I worry about you all the time, babe. I love you. Jesus, how tight did you tighten this freaking thing on the top? I'm trying to open my water bottle. I asked her to go get me some water, and she literally... you got bigger forearms than me. Yeah. I just drank that like a 5-year-old. Just spilled everywhere. It's one of my favorite Ari Shaffir jokes. He's like, you ever see like a kid try to like eat or drink something, they can't even like control their breath and drink at the same time? Like, it's so gross, so disgusting. I just did exactly that. 27 in 2 months, still can't drink and breathe at the same time. 3 months, whatever. 2 whole months, and then half this month, and then half the month I turn. 2.5 months? No, 3 months. 3 months. We can say 3 months. That's why people say 3 months when you put the okay, math. You know, see, maybe if I didn't have ADHD, I would have been able to figure that out because I could have paid attention in math class instead of fucking fidgeting and drawing and doodling and thinking about skateboarding and thinking about, you know, guns, but not shooting the school up. It's different, you know. Target acquisition, practice, projectiles. It's fun, people. Yeah, I also brought back, last year was pretty eventful for me because your dad died. Just kidding. Just kidding. About, he did. Oh, he really did. Okay, not kidding. I brought back the Matt Brain podcast with good old Jason, Coach Jason. His name's Jason, right? Jason. Actually, the reason I'm doing the podcast here today, the reason I'm doing the podcast here right now today is he moved jiu-jitsu class up an hour and I couldn't make it in time, so I'm sitting here spitting in the microphone. Thank you. I got Bad Etiquette podcast number 99 in the can, thanks to you, Jason. We haven't done a Matt Brain since before Thanksgiving. He had a whole trip to fucking bumfuck Montana and back, saved a man's life, threw some axes, shot some bows, drank some mead out of some...
Drank some
mead? I mean, you can drink mead. I wouldn't recommend it. It's... Mead. Mead is like medieval. Are those connected? Reddit? Reddit on Reddit. Medieval like beer. It's like what Vikings used to drink. Yeah, it's like you make it out of like honey and water and yeast. And I guess the yeast just goes off because the sugar in the honey. I don't know. But it takes a long time to make. And he'll tell you all about it on Matt Brain, next Matt Brain episode, my jiu-jitsu podcast. It's a jiu-jitsu podcast, but I really like just talking shit to Jason and talking about MMA and, just weird gym stereotypes and et cetera, et cetera. So it's a fun time. It's just like this. It just gives you a little more, I highly recommend it for anyone who just wants to like see what their friends are up to when they divulge inside baseball style stuff from a hobby of theirs. I'm a jiu-jitsu hobbyist, enthusiast, whatever. It's one of my enthusiasms. I don't have a skateboarding podcast or a movie podcast or a archery podcast, but I do have a jiu-jitsu podcast. It's just one of the things I like to do. So every once in a while, I'm sure you guys see, like, I have an episode comes out on the Bad Etiquette banner, but it says Matt Brain. That's what that is. That's all. It's fun. The amount of likes it gets on Instagram, though, heartbreaking. Oh, man, it's like single-digit stuff. Do you remember, like, back in the day when Instagram first was out and you had to get 9 or 10 likes before it changed from the usernames that liked it to the number that liked it? I think it literally reverted back to just the usernames that like these posts because it's still in the single digits. It's so bad. Oh. Yeah, but I've been trying to occupy myself, like my free time, but I work a full-time job now, and it's pretty difficult to do that. I spend a lot of time watching TV because I don't know. I think I always liked watching TV, though. I don't know where I was going with that. I'm just trying to segue into the TV shows I'm watching. Yeah, I can relax. Because I didn't know how to relax, I always said. Yeah, I just want to relax a little bit. Can't like be zooming and booming and dooming. I want to. Like I just, worked a whole day, drove an hour to work, an hour back from work, and wanted to go to jiu-jitsu, just go let out my frustrations on some local police officer or something, but didn't get to. So you get to hear me talk about my Strattosphincter. What's it called? Not spherical. Strattosphincter. That's much better. That might be the name of the episode. Thank you. Strattosphincter. That's pretty good. I like that. I'm 6 years old. I can't breathe and drink water at the same time. Strattosphincter. That made me really happy. I lost my train of thought completely. Oh, thank you. Yeah, so I started watching. I think part of them too was like I really got into a couple TV shows because they were like an escape. Because when we moved back here, we weren't in the master bedroom. We were in one of the slave bedrooms still, and it was a little cramped and it was a little stressful. And I mean, it was more than stressful, unfortunately. Like I mentioned previously, Kylie's dad died. So we were kind of going through that. I mean, not kind of. We were definitely going through that. And it was something I could do to escape is just really get into a couple TV shows. And one of them, I'm sure a lot of you are going to roll your eyes at this, or you may have just noticed the way I started dressing. One of them is that show Yellowstone with Kevin Costner. I fucking binge watched those first three seasons so quickly. They're so good. And I even talked to Kylie's dad about it at one point. He said it was like, a little too soap opera-y for me. And I was like, do I like soap operas? This show's great. And, it's no All My Children or General Hospital or Young and the Restless or As the World Turns. Not that I've ever watched any of those. But it's pretty fucking good. Until this whole last fourth season, so they made the fourth season where like you could spend like $20 on some fucking app or like subscription, and then you can just watch the whole fourth season. But I was like, fuck that. I just watched the 3 seasons for like $5 on Peacock or whatever, or it was like free on Peacock. I don't know. So I dusted off the old eye patch, put it on, got my little parrot, my peg leg, and my telescope, and I said, a pirate's life for me. I fucking pirated the whole fourth. Maybe that's why it was my punishment for pirating the whole fourth season. But Yellowstone season 4 sucked. Period. Sucked. I watched the whole thing on my laptop next to Kyleigh while she ignored me and got lost in TikToks, giving her Chinese spy paranoia and anxiety. Ouch. 1883 is like the spin-off. Thank God that came out. That was way better than the whole... It's like they said, let's take all the energy from making Yellowstone out of season 4 and let's all put it in 1883. I think that's the name of the show. No, it's 1883. 1887 is a little too close. Dr. Pepper had already been invented. Diet Dr. Pepper was on the way. Aspartame was about to turn everyone in the old horse and buggy into, crashing into each other on the fucking freeway. So it wasn't 1887. It was 1883. 1883. Pretty good. I'm enjoying that. But I got fucking sucked into Game of Thrones, which I begrudgingly watched. Not because a girl told me to or said I should. And if you're listening, Kyleigh knows. Kyleigh was literally saying, like, why are you watching Game of Thrones? Did some slut tell you to watch that? Were you talking to some that? You might as well have. Basically, she was convinced that the only reason I was keeping my mind open and trying something new is because there must have been some whore out there that convinced me to do it. You're not right. Anyways, I got to season 5. I was on season 5, and spoiler alert for Game of Thrones, I don't really care what happens after season 5. Like, all the storylines I cared about kind of wrapped themselves up, and I was like, yeah, I'm fine with this. I don't care anymore at this point. Here's a spoiler alert for the whole show. If you like that character, they die.
How many seasons are there?
8 seasons. Ridiculous. But something that probably fueled a whole lot of the compound bow archery bullshit was Hawkeye coming out on Disney Plus. That was a cute little show. Also, Haley Steinfeld. Haley? What is it? Haley Steinfeld? The chick from Edge of 17 with Woody Harrelson. Babe, right? So, fucking Hawkeye. It's pretty good. Check it out. These are just my show recommendations right now. Recommendations. Except season 4 of Yellowstone. Steinfeld? Are you saying Seinfeld?
No, Steinfeld.
Steinfeld. Got it. Haley Steinfeld. Damn, poor girl probably got... Yeah, I think she's a little girl in True Grit. Yeah, I haven't seen True Grit. And then the Dexter spin-off or reboot, Dexter New Blood. Finally, right? Everyone who saw the last scene in the last episode of the original Dexter, you're like, oh shit, he's alive. Spoiler alert, in case you didn't know, he lives, and they made a whole nother TV series after that series. I know, right? Little obvious, but some people still surprised. It's pretty fucking good. Not the worst show in the world. Definitely better than Yellowstone season 4. My expectations are very low. They're yellow. Stone. Sorry. I'll just see myself out, or whatever they say on TikTok. Been obsessed with TikTok for the past 6 months or so. Another little escapism thing I learned. Just started learning a bunch of things. And then it just devolved from learning to a bunch of things to going, that's a big butt. And that's all. Just like with the rest of my fucking, social media, where it's like, oh my God, this is so cool. My favorite movie, my favorite actor. Oh, is this a singer? Is this a musician? Is this a guitar company? Oh, they make new arrowheads. And then it's just like, oh, look, a big butt. And then just, fuck. Facebook's the only, well, no, not true. Because let me tell you, I added some people because of big butts. I think big butts really just rule the world. Really just drive, just maybe it's good the Stratera's given me the limp dick over here. I'm not being directed, not being fucking tractor beamed into big butts all the time. It's probably good for me. I mean, honestly, that's what I used to want. I was like, if I could just not have a libido for a little while, I think probably get so much shit done. So I got this whole podcast done right now. That's about it. And Kylie's big butt's sticking in the air right now. Damn it. Knock it off. I'm trying to get things done over here. Crossing things off my list. My brother started a company. I don't remember what he calls it right now, but he makes wood carving things and sands them and then puts epoxy on them or puts designs on them or something. And my other brother does almost the exact same thing, started a company the same year as the other brother. Unbeknownst to them, they're not related. We're both my half brothers, but if you ask me about one of them, I'm gonna tell you that's my whole brother. You ever call him my half brother, I'm gonna spit in your eye. It's an insult. My other brother started a company called Cut and Cure Creations. Go ahead and check out episode 98, 97 with Justin Tomlinson. Tells you a little bit about that. There's a link in the description for the website. You can check out some of the designs he makes. Really great things. Does it with my mom. Super cool. Support local businesses. Support small businesses. We can get dominoes made. I'm really butchering the whole thing. I just can't really put it into words, but it's terrific. Big fan. Super stoked for him. And my other brother fucking doing almost the same thing. Super random. What are the odds? Yeah, isn't that weird? My brother Ryan, the baseball player. Running out of steam here, man. Running out of... I forgot. I'll get a little sore throat or a little itchy throat. It feels like there's a little pube back there tickling the old uvula or whatever. Pubula? There's a certain part of me that remembers real people, like real adults that own businesses and have families, listen to this podcast sometimes, and I always wonder like how they did it, because they have time to listen to this podcast. I have no idea how they possibly got the rest of their life in order. That shit blows my mind. And it also, part of me feels like, am I taking up your only bit of free time as like a functioning adult, and just, this is your escape, this is your Game of Thrones, this is your Yellowstone season 4? I hope not. That shit sucked. It's kind of weird, right? I think about it. There's people who want to be on the podcast, and people I've invited on the podcast who, a lot of people, entrepreneurs, own their own business, work at a company or like do things. And I'm like, holy shit, I would love to have you on my podcast. Let me talk to you about that. Let me see what this is about. And I'm just sitting over here like, it burns when I come early or whatever. What an embarrassing person I am sometimes. Honestly, I'm an embarrassing person sometimes to other people, but I'm not always sure when I'm being embarrassing. My mom didn't get embarrassed growing up, and I don't know when I'm embarrassing other people sometimes. You get secondhand Jesus. When you get secondhand embarrassment, and you're like, oh my God, you're ruining me, giving me anxiety. Kyleigh knows I give her secondhand embarrassment all the time. I think the only kind of embarrassment she has is the kind I give her. Pretty rough. So that's essentially the origin of the podcast, is finding out how to conduct yourself the right way and not embarrass yourself because you don't know any better. Thanks, Mom. Appreciate it. Gosh, what else? It's hard to like pack a whole year into like one new episode. I got exciting things coming up. I got April Fool's Day. I got a comedy show coming up somewhere in Lompoc. It's either going to be at Stages or probably maybe the Shamrock. Haven't really figured it out yet, but doing some new jokes for that and some old ones, obviously, because I haven't done stand-up in almost 2 years because of the pandemic. But that should be a blast, because either you get to see me be funny or not be funny, and either way, I won't know I'm embarrassing myself, so that's a plus. Did that come out of your ass? I've never... I just made Kyleigh laugh and fart at the same time. I've never been so happy in my life. Wow. Only in the master bedroom can you get away with something like that. That's some slave bedroom shit happening in the master bedroom. What are we calling this episode? The Strattosphincter? You just Strattosphinctered on the on the fucking episode. Oh man. So April Fool's, that's not an April Fool's joke. It is actually April 1st. That's what I've been told. Show getting set up. Gonna be some stand up. Hopefully I'll open so I won't have to be waiting for my impending doom too long. You always gotta fucking prolong the inevitable, and maybe the inevitable is me fucking murdering, but I'm still new. It's not like it's my podcast. I can kill at that. Remember the first 15 minutes of this shit? Solid. Kind of, coming to a close here, kind of slowing down, blowing, it's fine. It's a solo episode. We're over an hour in. That's good. I'm happy with that. Yeah, that's coming up. We got fucking year number 8 in the books for good old Me and Kyleigh. So that's cool. Our anniversary's coming up. The anniversary of when we met, you know. She was still going on dates with other people, but whatever. We won't talk about that. Oh, I was too. You want to talk about that? Well, too bad it's my podcast. You can start your own podcast, talk about that. Anyway, so 8 years coming up. Whee! Fucking 3-year anniversary of the podcast coming up January 31st. Gonna have an episode out either a little before the day of or even a little after with good old man behind the curtain himself, J-Lo, Jonathan Lopez. It's our annual episode. We do an episode once a year, and I think we've kind of like decided the anniversary of the podcast is a good starting or stopping point for a little check-in. It's so funny. I literally see him once a year, maybe twice a year if I'm lucky, especially haven't really seen him during the pandemic. He mixes and masters the podcast, sends me a fucking file. We chat every once in a while, you know, say, hey, Kylie's dad's dead, or hey, I got married, or, you know, just, you know, small talk. And it works. It's beautiful. It's magic. I couldn't have this show without him. At least to the quality it is now. You know what I mean? I could have it without him, but God, who would really be listening? It'd sound like a fucking bag of potato chips on a fuzzy channel. They don't have those anymore, but there used to be ones that would be like... We need to put it on. Not going to happen. Not going to happen because we got J-Lo behind the curtain. Man behind the curtain. Is he behind this curtain? You ever say something enough that you get a little paranoid? Yeah, me too. Yeah, other than that, I think we're doing good. 2022, I'm going to come for your throat, bitch. I'm going to strangle you. I'm going to take your back, going to sink in the rear naked choke. I'm going to put you to fucking sleep. I'm going to get further in my professional life, in my personal life, and I'm going to get rid of the side effects from the Stratera, and I'm going to do more stand-up and going to have the podcast every week, even if it's a little 30-minute little spazoid. I think I'm going to start doing recordings in my car, too, because there's so much that I want to get out that I think, oh, this would be perfect. I can't wait till later when I have free time. I'm going to do it then. And then I forget and I fucking don't do it because I'm a flawed human and it's really difficult. So, I want to do some more skateboarding. I'm honestly really looking forward to how the atomoxetine influences my skateboarding, because I think one of the problems growing up with ADHD is skateboarding is a really great creative outlet, but it also has its drawbacks when you have something like ADHD where you can't quite execute focus on a trick and progress at a reasonable level. Well, some of your peers might be able to. And that's always burned me up inside. You know, friends I grew up with, they got better at skateboarding, but I somehow didn't, even though I was skating just as much as them. That always kind of fucked me up. So I think maybe this will, put a little, soften the blow of adulthood. Of that, like, dark reality of, oh, damn, my dream didn't work out, but I'm still holding on to a one little shred of it. So. And it's the anniversary of Caleb's death. Well, it's not happy, but we miss you, Caleb. What was his last name? Caleb Cruz. That's a cool last name. How do I forget that? It sounds made up, like Bronson. Is that his real last name? Wow. We've both had exes die. You've had 2 exes die? Oh, wow. Don't break up with me, please. Man. That's crazy. Yeah. Damn, life sucked. I mean, it sucked. It does suck, and it probably will suck in the future. But last year was rough. Rest in peace, CJ. Rest in peace, Caleb. Rest in peace, Patrick, Kylie's dad, who I'm speaking on one of his microphones right now. That, by the grace of him, not grace, but you know what I mean. Like, if he didn't have this microphone, I wouldn't be speaking into it. So it was really, I don't know, big coincidence. Thank you for that episode, by the way. Me and Kyleigh had an episode a couple months back in the park, and she spoke to me about some really awesome, lovely stuff and some really awful, unfortunate stuff. But it's a really great episode, and if you guys have enjoyed getting to know like a more personal side of both me and Kyleigh, and a deeper side, not just dick and fart jokes the whole time. There's dick and fart jokes in that episode too, but don't worry, we're real people. Well, I feel accomplished. What about you? I'm sure it'll go away soon. But for right now, this is the Bad Etiquette Podcast, and I'll see you guys next week.